Okay, so we are live. And as always, let me know if you can hear me and see me, if the sound is okay and all that. I'm doing this live stream a little bit later. It's in the morning. Well, it's actually almost noon now. So that should be a better time for people in North America as well, I hope. Well, it's very, very early if there's a 6 hour time difference. So maybe it's not ideal, but that's how it is. So Hector is here, peace and love from Poland, and Tex Bolivar. Good to see you again. Lots of people are joining. That's wonderful to see. It's 5:30 in Toronto, Canada. Yeah, so okay, let's get into today's topics. It's again a heathen slash pagan hangout, which means that we will be talking about topics that are important to heathen people and pagan people, especially, and we will try to see these topics from that perspective. Everyone is welcome, as always. As I always say, Christians, Muslims, Jews, and whatever, everyone is welcome. And as I said, as a joke yesterday, if you believe in an old shoe, you're welcome as well. That's totally fine. What I don't like is people who come to the live stream, and this always happens, sadly, and they start preaching, and yeah, you know what I mean. So don't do that. It's not okay. So, okay. I will be talking about the apes with long legs. And who are those apes? I will be talking a little bit about that. But before I do that, the Pagan Workshop is there. Good to see you. Good to see you. Before I get a native tongue is there. Lots of all the good people are here. Before I get into that, let me just say something that has to do with what I just said. Actually, people have been asking, why haven't you been doing more Viking videos lately? Now, first of all, I will be back doing Viking videos very soon. As we speak, I have two guys putting turf roof on the roof on the roof of my Viking cabin. And because of the very difficult neighbors behind the Viking cabin, I have plans to fence so that I will be more shielded from those people. So I will be doing more Viking videos, but there is one reason I haven't talked about this. Before. Whenever I do Viking videos, I get a lot of preaching in the comments. It's not nice, and I'm not saying this to criticize Christian people. You can be a Christian. That's wonderful. I think, that's great. But it is people who call themselves Christians, I believe, who come to the comment sections on my Viking videos, and they start writing things like that I'm going to hell and that this and that. So and this, there is only one God and all that. So you can thank those people for me not making as many Viking videos as I would have liked to. Because I like to look at the comments, I like to respond to some of the comments, but when you get that every single time, you kind of lose, almost said faith in humanity, but it you kind of want to do other kinds of videos instead, you know. So that's how it is. And you can actually blame those people if you want to blame someone. Don't blame me. If you want to blame someone, then blame those people who can't, almost said keep it in their pants, but you know, it's the same principle. Um, having faith is wonderful. That's great, but it's like that thing in your pants. You know, you shouldn't brag about it. You shouldn't wave it around in public, and you shouldn't try to force it upon other people. Uh, uh, yeah. So okay. Adekiji is there. Good to see you. Good to see you. I know I can't filter comments, but and I have put some words in that filter, but it would just take, if I were to write all those words in that that filter, it would just remove too many comments, too many. No, they're not controlling me. Ironwood Workman. It's not like they are controlling me, but you need to realize I'm making videos or live streams every single day, almost every single day. And if you're a human being, after a few years, it will get to you. And you start to do different stuff, okay? So, the trolls should be called the ticks. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And let's see here. Yes, okay. So let's move on to the topic for today. But first, Nick says, well, thank you for the donation. Hello again, Bjorn. If Odin is mythological, does that mean you believe in myths? Odin is not mythological. There are myths with Odin, myths about Odin, but Odin, the symbolism of Odin, if you will, is not a myth. So I hope that answered your question. And Pavel here is writing, Odinism is a philosophy. That's also well said, absolutely. So the apes with long legs, that's us. What we believe when we look back at evolution is that we are, not we, but our ancestors, the humanoids that would evolve and become Homo sapiens, our species, they had shorter legs. But because, and this is a theory, evolution is not a theory, that has been proven, but several times, but this is a theory that we grew longer legs because we found ourselves in flat lands. Okay, so the tallest person would be able to spot enemies, well, dangerous animals, and so on. And also, we were scavengers. We were not the best hunters, so we would look for signs of animals that had been killed by better hunters, like, for instance, wolves, and we would eat what they left. I know that it's very popular to say that we were the hunters and the wolves were the scavengers. I'm sure that happened as well, but if you look at things, us versus wolves, a pack of wolves, obviously, wolves are better hunters. So that's the theory. We grew longer legs, and that's why we, as we are apes. We are in that branch of the tree where all the animal species you can find all the animal species. So we are among the apes, and it's not like we have short arms. We have long legs. That's so we are the apes with long legs. Now, why am I talking about that? I am talking about that because there's a difference between if I may use that word, the religions that are closely connected to nature and the monotheistic religions like the Abrahamic religions. The Abrahamic religions, like Christianity, will take us humans out of that whole system that we call nature and put us above everything and say things like we were created in the image of God and so on, and therefore we shall rule over nature. Not only is that a very harmful way to look at nature and our place in nature, and we can see that every day, but it's also wrong, and it can't be true. As I said, we are apes, advanced apes, but still, we are apes. And this is something that no pagan or heathen, if you will disagree. If you say that, well, a pagan or heathen will nod, and we agree on that, like a scientist will say that, and a heathen and a pagan will agree. In the monotheistic religions, people tend to have a huge problem with that, which is a bit of a shame. Now, let's see here. So I have some notes actually. If we look at the state of the earth now, well, I am worried, and you know this. I've been talking about this before. I worry about, well, actually not so much the climate, but more, well, because the climate will be changing no matter what we do. But I'm not saying that I won't get into that whole discussion. I do believe that human activity is part of the reason of climate change. Part of the reason. It would be a bit of a stretch to say that we have human activity does not affect it at all. That would be very strange. But I worry more about species being lost. I worry about the pollution of the oceans. I worry about do you say overfishing? When you fish too much, emptying the oceans of life. I worry about these things. And I believe that the dominant worldview today is a monotheistic worldview, if you will, and uh, human beings have for centuries believed that we are the rulers of nature. First of all, we are not. We are not. Take away the tools from any human being and throw that human being out in nature, and he or she would perish in a matter of days. Most likely, most people would. Uh, but it's very harmful to view the world in such a way. And we can see that now. We can see the results of that. We are not on top of nature. We're not the rulers of nature. We are part of nature. We are nature. Now, do I believe that you can't have that, you can't be, for instance, a Christian and understand that? No, not at all. Of course you can. But I will say that from a pagan or heathen viewpoint, um, or rather, the pagan or heathen viewpoint is much more in line with that. And that's one of the reasons why I believe that an understanding of nature on a spiritual level, coming from a so-called pagan or so-called heathen place, is the way to go forward, is the way to move forward. And you don't have to call it Odinism, or you don't have to give it a name. You don't have to use gods and goddesses as symbols, even. As long as you understand that nature has a value in itself, and it has also a spiritual value. And I think that this is important. I try not to preach to people, or actually I never do. But if you are listening now, well, hopefully that's because you want to. And I believe there is some sense to what I'm saying here. It is coming from a place of logic, and I try to observe the world the best I can. So let's take a look at um, at the chat here. I tried to concentrate on the super chats. So Tex Bolivar is asking, does each Norse god have a Greek Roman counterpart? Not each god, but there are absolutely similarities. Absolutely. You know, people traveled and they were inspired by each other. Also, when it comes to gods and goddesses. Let's see here. I'll scroll down. So someone here calls him or herself the Cabbage, which was a fitting name, I think. I'm sorry. When you choose that nickname, you have it coming. Says that nature or animals doesn't have spirit. Well, first of all, how do you know? And secondly, I disagree. It You could say that nothing has a spirit. I can't prove that anything has a spirit. I can't prove that. But it seems very it doesn't seem logical that only one species on this planet has spirit. Doesn't seem to be any logic in that. Yeah, Jason, absolutely. Pollution and conservation of nature, and there is a dogma of global warming, absolutely. And now, I think that we should absolutely care about both. But what I'm seeing is that in the name of environmentalism, they are chopping down the woods for green energy and all that. And that's, to me, that's when you know that they don't care. These people don't care about nature. They view nature as a battery. That's all it is to them. Let's see here. Sometimes I don't know who's trolling and who's so I'm just keeping an eye on things here. Outdoor Watch Norway says that I believe the old forest has a spirit. I agree. I can find good comfort and find a solution for most of my problems there. I can relate to that, absolutely. Tex Bolivar is reminding you all that I established the Church of Old Shoe in 2022. So, yeah. The Church of the Old Shoe likes donations, and you have to pay large donations unless you want to go to shoe hell. So that's no, just kidding. Yeah. So you got to pay to play. It's a joke. That was a joke. Okay. Text says pass the shoe around to collect donations. Yeah. All shoe t-shirts need to happen. Yeah. Well, it was a bit. It's a bit funny. I think it's a bit funny. Oh, Irish McMahon says I feel thoroughly ignored. I'm sorry about that. I can't see all the comments in the live stream. But again, what I'm trying to say here is that I don't like this idea that the humans are a special kind of entity, that we are not animals, that we are something between animals and gods, that we are worth more than animals, or should I say other animals. I'm trying to point at that and tell you all that this is something that I believe is a modern invention. It came with a modern, the more modern religions, like the monotheistic religions. You need to remember that for us up here in Scandinavia, uh, Christianity is a modern invention. It hasn't been here for very long, and it's interesting, I think, because you see lots of people um, reaching out to their roots, their so-called pagan roots, and feeling a very strong connection to those. Um, and you won't find a lot of devout Christians in Norway. So maybe it has to do with 1,000 years. Well, it's 1,000 years, but still, it's not that long, And you could say that 800 years ago, maybe even 700 years ago, uh, well, who knows for how long, but people were still talking to the old gods when they when the priests and so on were not there. So okay, let's see here. Cowboys, thanks for the donation. You're getting a flip phone today. That's awesome. That's awesome. Um, let's see here. Um, Lorem Ipsum says, I must be unlucky as all Norwegians I know are very Christian. Very Christian. Well, um, I'm not trying to say Christians there's something wrong with people because they're Christian. I know lots of Christian people and they're all wonderful people. And I'm not saying that they don't understand nature at all. Not saying that. But um, there is what's the word? The increase in the popularity, and it has been for some time, when it comes to connecting with our ancestry and our pagan ancestry, if you will. Let's see here. Food shortage will release the monkey in us. Yeah, well, uh, it tends to do that, you know. Mm. Yeah, we are God's heart there. We are all made from stardust. um, if we go back like billions of years, I don't know, um, what would become us was just particles floating around in the universe or something like that. um, let's see here. Did the Vikings discover America? Well, the Native Americans discovered America. But yeah, well, the Norse certainly went there. Um, but this discovery of America, I know what you mean, but I well, here's what I think. I think that because of the geography and the skills when it comes to traveling across the seas, I think that other peoples also went to the American continents before the Norse. Um, that's what I think. You know, there is no question about that. there were Viking settlements in North America. Not at all. It's very well established, and it has been for a long, long time. Let's see here. Oh, native tongue. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. By the way, I noticed you have uploaded some videos, and I'm going to watch them. And everyone here should. Native tongue, go to that channel. But I've been so busy. Yeah, work. This is not my real work, um, all hail the Church of the Great and Powerful Shoe. Flip flops are sub gods. Yes, we can't have flip flops. No, that's not allowed. Uh, so, yeah, flip flops are sub gods. Yeah. Here's the thing about the Church of the Old Shoe. The bigger shoe you have, the more status you have. So the kings, they have boots, like big boots on. Yeah. So yeah. um, Steve, yes, I will. Yeah, I will do my best, but this is in the middle of the day for me, so it's a little bit difficult sometimes to find time. Um, Combat boots, yeah, I think they are acceptable. Yeah. Uh, yeah, well, Engla, talking about talking to animals. Um, I talk to animals, not like with a special language, but here's the thing, most of communication with other human beings is non-verbal. So when I meet an animal, like there's an animal right here sleeping. Okay, she is sleeping now. So when I meet an animal, like a horse, there are horses on the field during summer now behind my house. So I say hello to them, and they have their own language, their way of behaving. So you can communicate with animals, of course, and you can communicate your feelings, and to some degree communicate what you want, and uh, things like that. So we anyone who has any dealings with animals, like if you have a horse or if you have a dog or so on, you do talk to that animal, of course, and the animal will talk to you, but it's non-verbal. um, let's see here. Wild snake. Well, you can communicate with wild animals as well, but the thing is that they are afraid of us, so that limits the communication a lot. Um, okay, let's see here. Ash of the Hood says, my dog absolutely loves me talking to her, but I spent all day with her, so she knows all my tones and moods. Absolutely, Um, let's see here. I'm going to keep this live stream quite short. I want to say that I didn't see any trolls and haters in the live stream today, so that was wonderful. That was wonderful. And I tried to be respectful and humble. We there, we don't have knowledge about many things as human beings. There is so much we don't know, and I think if the best thing we can do is to just ask questions and and don't fall into that trap where we find some kind of simple solution, a simple answer, and we keep we grab that solution, that simple answer, and apply it to everything. um, that will lead us astray. So now text that no I think your input on the old shoe, the church of the old shoe, is wonderful. And um, no, I don't have maps like that, Sven. I know where they went, but I don't have ready-made maps. Bernhard says, put some seeds in the soil. Yes, absolutely. It's that time of the year now. But I have to say, I was quite disappointed last night because it started snowing. And the snow is still, well, it's almost gone now. Yeah. Because I'm finished with winter now. So, but we got snow, which should not surprise us here in Norway at this time of the year. But still, I was a bit disappointed, and yeah. But now it looks like it's almost gone already. Okay. So, have a wonderful day, and stay strong as always. And I think we should all try to keep a positive tone and stay optimistic as well. Okay. And I'll try to be back with a live stream very soon. Very soon. Okay. Bye.